All right, try to follow me on this. Attorney General Bill Barr said that U.S. Attorney John Durham is looking into potential criminal activity by the outgoing Obama administration during the lead up to President Trump's presidency in 2016-2017. The move is the latest twist in the battle between the Obama and the Trump administrations, which reignited recently over revelations that Obama officials, you remember all 39 of them, tried to unmask former Trump National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Well, our next guest was the acting attorney general before Bill Barr. He's got a new book out called Above the Law, the inside story of how the Justice Department tried to subvert President Trump. Matt Whitaker joins us now. Matt, welcome back to the show, and congrats on the book.
Good to see you, Sean.
All right. I had Don Jr. on the show yesterday, not name dropping, it was just, who's here. And I asked him if he was concerned about these reports to unmask not just him, but his siblings. Let me have you listen to what he said.
You're trying to unmask the first family when they knew there was nothing there. I mean, you see what's going on. Honestly, my biggest regret, Sean, of the last 3 years, and we may even had this conversation in the past because I wasn't sure, was not being more vocal about Flynn. No one's ever going to say, I don't take a position or I'm afraid to back a position, but I'm like, man, they must have done something. There's no way the FBI, the former CIA director, the this, the that, they're all going out. Like, there must be something there because I still believed that these institutions and their leaders actually had some credibility, and they don't. They've been broken and corrupted. So what happened is disgusting. It pisses me off, and we better get to the bottom of it.
All right, Matt, he's fired up. You were there. You were the acting attorney general. I was there at the beginning, and Don's right. I mean, we hear the FBI comes in, they tell you something, they tell you that Flynn lied, and you go, okay, I'm going to trust the FBI. When you were acting attorney general, were there things that troubled you, and are you concerned that more is going to come out based on what you did writing this book?
Yeah, I think there is, and I think you're right. This is what happened to General Flynn. We need to make sure that never happens again to an American citizen. But, one of the themes in my new book is the idea that really there was never any evidence of this Russia collusion fable. And ultimately what it became was an obstruction of justice trap, not only for President Trump, but also for myself and others that were, supervising the Mueller investigation. And I think we just got to make sure that, I know Bill Barr has made reforms, and I want to hear more from Chris Wray as to how he ensures that these types of things never happen again, because we need confidence in the FBI.
You were the U.S. attorney, then the chief of staff of the DOJ, then the acting attorney general. Through all of that, is there stuff that you've seen that you go, oh my gosh, there's a lot more to get at?
Yeah, I'm really concerned about this recent Susan Rice email that suggests that the president and the vice president, Obama and Biden, together with others, met in the Oval Office on January 5th of 2017, 15 days before the new administration came in. And they discussed the prosecution and investigation of General Flynn. And there's a suggestion that they were going to do it by the book, according to what Obama allegedly said, according to what Jim Comey allegedly said. But I don't know what book they're reading, because quite frankly, it's very obvious to me they didn't follow the Justice Manual, which is the only book that governs these types of things. And so, these are the exact types of themes that I sort out in my new book.
Matt, when you were acting attorney general, were there specific things that you did or tried to do to make sure this wouldn't happen again?
Yeah, first I consolidated the chain of command so that everything was managed by the attorney general and flowed down from there, and all was responsible to the president. I also looked at, what we could do about the special counsel regulation too, because I believe, and I explain in my book why I think that is unconstitutional as it's been created. And then, there are several other things that I think we could reform, and that I know Bill Barr is reforming. And I think John Durham's investigation, which you mentioned earlier, is so important to restoring the integrity and the confidence in the Department of Justice. And, people want folks held accountable. And I think it is time to hold some folks accountable, whether criminal charges can be brought or otherwise. We just need some transparency and accountability.
So here's the thing. All of this happened in the lead up to the 2016 election. My concern is that we're heading into the 2020 election. Do you have a concern about what happened then could happen again?
I actually don't have a concern, because I was there in 2018 and saw what other countries were trying to do to interfere and how we combated their interference. I think 2020 election, everyone's ready, whether it's the Department of Justice and the FBI, whether it's the Department of Homeland Security. I know everyone is going to be vigilant this time.
All right. Well, see, we have a few technical issues. We're going to try to get Matt back. There's so much to unpack in this. And I think every day what troubles me is that just when you think you have settled this, we see another document come out, Lindsay. It's this person got unmasked. This is when this person did what. And all it's doing is making me question. I think Don Jr. said it best. I grew up, you probably did the same, thinking that if an FBI agent showed up or a police officer showed up, you know, they were there for the right reasons. They were pursuing justice. And it's leaving a stain on a lot of the activities.
Yeah, I think it is. And just like Matt Whitaker was saying, it draws into question now what should be done in getting some of these, if you've called them before, rotten apples out of there, especially as we draw to this November election, wondering what can happen and what else will come out to continue to shake our trust in these departments.
Yeah. You know, one of the things that I hope that at some point we can ask Matt is, he brought up Director Wray. What should be done with Director Wray?
Yep.
You got to ask him that when we get a chance.
Yep, and we will. Well, coming up, a disturbing video showing an elderly man being brutally beaten in a Detroit nursing home. We're going to show you that video when we return and ask, how can something like this even happen? We'll be right back.